When I was 19, my mentor taught me that the way to make unlimited amounts of money is by working the revenue side of a company. And this was an extraordinarily profound lesson at the time and now. And he did such an incredible job of elucidating the difference between being on the cost side of a company and being on the revenue side. So here I was, ambitious, probably full of myself, 19-year-old, and I wanted to make unlimited amounts of money. And what he asked me was, okay, well, if you're going to work within a company, or if you're going to start a company, or you're going to build a product that will be used by a company, where will you be selling, or where will you be creating the value for yourself? And I said, well, I'm going to, I didn't have a proper answer. Well, he then drew out a diagram for me. He basically said, every company has two parts, and that's it. There's the cost side of a company, where they incur costs to be able to deliver the products and services that they sell. And there's the revenue side of a company, which is the part where they go and sell their own products and services and generate income. And then, of course, they are selling their products, so then the cost side is there to service those people or to deliver those products. That makes perfect sense. He's further illustrated that even the cost side is where 95% of people live. Said they're engineers, they're experts, they're manufacturing, accounting, legal, HR. Almost all employment happens on the cost side of a business, and almost all raw materials and wholesale products happen on the cost side of a business. And he said, don't be fooled that some items or people on the cost side of a business can be very valuable. He's like, and then I later realized, if you're TSMC and you're making the latest chip, the most bleeding edge chip, you are going to go to ASML and pay several $100 million for a very rare lithography machine. So your cost is that lithography machine, and you are willing to pay an ungodly amount of money. But what he said is, don't be fooled that just because it's a lot of money that somebody's ready to pay you on the cost side, that you're able to create excess profit on the cost side. It's not possible. You will not be able to charge whatever you want. You will not be able to continuously take more from that company. And the reason for that is because on the cost side of a business, everything is efficient. Now, that doesn't mean all companies are efficient on the cost side. It just means that that's what a company is looking to accomplish on the cost side. So what that means is nobody is trying to pay for a cost anything more than they absolutely have to. So whatever you're getting paid as a salary, if you're on the cost side of a business, is literally as much as you possibly could be paid for them to, is the inverse. It's literally as little as you can be paid so that you'll still do the job. And so they'll pay you enough to do the job, to clear the price, but they won't pay you 1 cent more. They'll never pay you 1 cent more than they have to. And they'll never pay for a raw material 1 cent more than they have to. Because as a business, I'm not trying to spend anything more than I need to absolutely get the job done. So he's like, there's two problems. There's one problem, which is it's efficient. It's a clearing market. You will not be able to create sustainable value. You could get paid a lot like ASML. You will not be able to get pricing power. Now, coming to the revenue side in a business, before we go to revenue side, sticking on the cost side, the other problem with the cost side is if the company goes the opposite direction and they start to shrink, they start to contract, they start to have issues, you're going to be the first people to go. The people that are cost in a business, and it probably triangulates down, so the most luxury cost gets cut first, then medium level costs, and then critical costs will get cut because these are all things the business will have to do to survive, is to save money if it goes into financial peril. Now come to the other side, he said. Look at the revenue side of a business. It's sales, marketing, advertising, payments, things of that nature, where it's like going and getting the customer, telling the customer that your company exists, and then getting money from them. Now, the incredible thing about this side is that it is unlimited potential. A business can only spend so much money. It only has a finite amount of money to spend. It has unlimited earning power. In theory, there is unlimited amount of money that any business could make. So the first thing about a business is that it has an unlimited cap on the revenue side and a fixed cap on the cost side. Now, let's look at the efficient clearing price. There is no efficient clearing price on the revenue side for a business. It is as long as you are able to generate the company more than you cost on the revenue side, you will be employed, you will be purchased from, you will be valued. So let me give you, he painted to me so beautifully. He said, Shorupan, what company do you respect? I said Google. And this is like 10 years ago. I said Google. He's like, great. I'll tell you how to get $1 million job from Google. Go to them and say, I want you to pay me $1 million. I have no experience. I have no, you don't know me. You have no credibility. I have no credibility, but I want you to pay me $1 million. He's like, I'll guarantee you get the job as long as you say to them, you only pay me that $1 million when I make you whatever amount of money you want me to make to pay you that million. So you pay me, I'll give you $1 million. You give me $1 million job if I make you more than $1 million. And he's like, you can take that pitch to any company in the world, any person in the world, and they will buy it. Versus you go to the most uncredible and low-level company, like basically the opposite of Google, and you say, hey, can I have a job for $10, but I'm not going to make you any money. Good luck. And if they do give you that job, it's because they have a cost that they need to clear and you can provide that service. But they're not giving you something because you demanded. They're giving you something because they needed it. Whereas on the income side, on the revenue side, you have unlimited negotiating power. And that's the first point. The second point is you never get cut. It does not matter if a company is contracting. It does not matter if a company is going out of business. Well, they would literally have to go out of business for you to lose your job. But until they do, you will be the last person there. You will be the person that the company can hold on to because you are bringing in more money than you cost. You are the most valuable asset, whether you are a person or a product or a tool. If you can generate the company revenue, you will forever find a job or forever find a customer, and you can negotiate your own terms because you are revenue positive. And later in life, after I never got a job after the age of 20, but later in life, when I started my own company and built products and services for other people and built softwares for other founders, I realized this is true even when you're building a product or service. If you're a cost service, if you're something that is solving a problem for them on the cost side, then you will still have all these problems that I just mentioned about even an employee on the cost side. Whereas if you are a software, a tool, a product that makes the company money, you inherit all these advantages and you will never go out of business and they will never cut you. Nobody cuts a product that makes them more money than they pay for it. And so this was just a very valuable, eye-opening lesson that I got taught. And as I'm building Garage and doing all these other things, it just hits me over and over again. Always be on the revenue side, whether you're an employee, whether you're a tool, whether you're building a product, whatever you're doing, be on the revenue side and you will be forever secure.